Hey guys, just want to show you something really quick about roles and how they can even help you do interesting things without even trying to use actions. So I came up with the idea that maybe you work for something like what I do here with Chibi. You know, like maybe you got a company or a product or something that you support, and you want some assistance with getting some help from the AI to kind of answer questions or emails or blog posts, not blog posts, comments on social media or in forums or something like that. And this kind of produces like a really nice kind of quick way of doing things, because like right now I'm in my content lab, and actually let me just kind of go back here. This button up here on the top left looks like a little beaker. This is the content lab. The idea of the content lab is that it gives you all the tools of having like a document, but it's not its own separate document. It's a place for you to do some content that maybe is ephemeral. You know, it's not something where you want to create a whole document that's then stored in your workspaces, and maybe it's the type of content that you would never revisit. You know, like a one-off answer to a forum post or something, and you don't really necessarily want to go through and create documents for each thing. That's what the content lab is for. So you can use the content lab just for quick one-off things. You want to write a tweet, you want to write an email, things like that. And now what I want to show you is what you can do with something it's a unique way of using a role. It doesn't have to be this way. Roles can have, I'm sure there's going to be ways to use roles that I haven't really thought of yet even, but this is one way that I think is pretty interesting. So I just made up something. I said, help Chibi AI. Oh. I don't understand what roles are in Chibi. How do they help me create better content? And, you know, I got this content back from Chibi about it. Hey, there are no worries at all. Roles in Chibi are like different personas that you can assign to your AI to help it generate content in the way that best fits your needs. Now, that's the thing, right? About content generated by AI, like, you know, I'll look at this and I think that this is a good 80% of the way there statement, right? There's some things I want to change about it, but it doesn't sound overly AI, you know, and that partly could be because of how I set up my role and the model that I'm using. And then it goes on, it says, think of it this way. When you write, you might adopt different voices or tones depending on the audience or the topic. Totally true. Roles in Chibi do something similar for the AI. They let you customize how Chibi generates content by choosing a language model and setting up specific parameters like temperature, max tokens, top P. That's true. For example, if you're writing a blog post and you want the AI to generate in a conversational and friendly responses, you might choose the chatty BFF role. Now, this kind of alludes to that, you know, the chatty BFF role is pre-built or something into Chibi. So I would change this from the response. I would change it to be, you know, you might create a chatty BFF role that you can then use whenever you want. This role could be configured to produce content that's more colloquial and less formal, making it feel more like a conversation between friends. Yeah, this is very good. On the other hand, if you're writing a formal report and you want the AI to generate more objective and precise responses, you might choose a professional role. I can't talk today. Again, this would be, you know, you might create a professional role, and it can be configured to produce content that's more factual and less. And then we know AI and factual. It depends. If you give it the facts, then it'll be factual. If you rely on it to kind of respond with factual information from its training, just be careful. It might hallucinate that. And it uses this word again, so, you know, it's kind of repetitive. So I would fix this up. So roles can help you create better content by allowing you to tailor the AI's output to your specific needs of your project, help us to clarify things. So that's overall, I'd say that's pretty good. So let me show you what I did to make that. So I have a role here, and I call it the Chibi email support. And I'm using the Snorkel Mistral model, which is an open source model from Together AI. And in here I say, you're a support representative for an AI app called Chibi AI, Chibi for short. Your task is to read a user's message and formulate a response. Chibi is an AI content tool. It costs $49 a month to $4.90 a year. So in this section here, what I did was I provided some details about Chibi, because there's no way that the AI model was ever trained with the information about Chibi. So I just provided it directly in the role. So now this role has information about Chibi, knows what it is, and can respond. Back down here, can respond in a friendly, casual manner as if speaking with a friend who might be stuck on a challenge and mildly frustrated. So this gives it how to respond. Like, it came back like this, right? Hey, no worries. Roles. It kind of was casual about it. You know, it gave an example. This is, I'd say overall, you know, depending or based on what this was, that's actually a pretty good result. I in the settings or in the controls here, I lowered the temperature down a little bit. That's mostly because what I wanted it to do was more precisely follow the instructions and be a little bit less creative with how it followed them. Maximum length, I didn't want it to go run on for too long, and so I just kind of upped it to around 400, but not crazy. Top P, I moved that up more towards 1, just kind of give it more range in the words that it can use. Same thing for Top K. Now some of these are like Top K is not available if you're using an OpenAI model. So keep in mind that these controls could be different for whatever model that you're using. But that's it. I just left everything else kind of the default. I didn't change any repetition penalty or any stop sequences or anything like that. Most of the real magic is happening right in here. And so the other cool thing is if you look right here, it has a green check mark here. And that means that this is currently this document's role. So I'm just going to go below this one, and I'm just going to hit this right button, and it's going to use this role to do an answer. And since the temperature and stuff like that's lowered down pretty low, it might follow quite a similar pattern. But as we can see, it decided to use an example that's more around marketing copy and stuff like that. So, you know, that's... Given that it doesn't really know anything, this is the information it had, and it's not asked to speak about marketing or speak about, what did it do down here? Voices and tones, you know, it didn't have any additional information to go off of. That's not too bad. You know, of course, a more thorough question or adding some more content or context to this would produce even better results. But the really cool part, the part I kind of want to showcase the most, let me just undo that, is that I didn't create an action to do the answer here. I didn't have to run an action or anything like that. I just hit the right button. And this right button, since it's using the current, let me just close out of the editor. I have two role groups. These are, one's called support, one's called writing personas. If I open both of these up, I have 2 roles, one in each. And by the way, if you didn't know this, I can actually take this one and move it into the other folder or in a role group. And I'll just, can I put it back? Yep. Okay, so that's that. But since this Chibi email support is the current role for this document, this is how the AI is told to respond. So I can just use the right button to do all that stuff that I needed. Pretty cool. So it might be a way for you to create some personas that can then act on the content in your editor without having to go through and create actions. Although obviously I recommend creating actions, but if there might be some scenarios that you don't feel the need to, if the right button can do it for you, right? So there's that. And I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions that come up from this, you know, please let me know. And until next time, take care.